Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. Judy Tuttle here with Tuttle Up Stamping. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Midland, Texas, and I'm very happy to be with you here today. This is the final day of this week's online online class to go. It's mostly cards, 4 cards, and then we always have one 3D or Gifty item on the last day, and that is what today is. We're going to talk more about all of that here in just a second. I just want to give you a few reminders of things going on in my Tuttle Up world. I am donating all of my commissions from all of my sales this week to the Kerr County Flood Relief Fund. It is a fund that will direct donations to vetted organizations providing rescue, relief, and recovery efforts as well as flood assistance. The fund will support the communities of Hunt, Ingram, Kerrville, Centerpoint, and Comfort, and is in support of nonprofit organizations, first responder agencies, and local governments actively involved in response, relief, and recovery efforts. So, hi, Laura. If you would like to come alongside me to help in my fundraiser, I'm already donating $200. So, thank you to all of you who've placed orders so far. And I just think we're a community that cares. So if you would like to come alongside me, I'm donating all of my commissions from any orders placed this week to the Kerr County Flood Relief Fund. So think about that, coming alongside me on that. Coneflower celebrations class. Wow, this class has just exploded. Thank you so much. I'm almost sold out in person. I have one spot left to go for my in-person class, but also an unlimited number of spots for a to-go class. So if you're interested in the Coneflower celebrations class, I have one spot in person, lots of spots to go. It is $40 or free with a $45 purchase, and your purchase this week could get you this class for free, as well as the online class to go that I am doing this week as well. Okay, so you can choose one or the other, not both. You can't double dip. But if you are interested in that class, the registration link will be in the description after this video is over. Next, 20% off all of our two-toned cardstock this week. Started today. It ends on Friday. So you can get 20% off all of our two-toned cardstock. I want to show you that real quickly here with my hands. So here is the Granny Apple Green. You can clearly see the two-tonedness of it, right? The dark, the light. Flip it over, light and dark, right? Just a little bit of subtlety. Looks really great when you're stacking the papers on top of it and you want to create stripes. Like I showed you yesterday, it has a white core to it. So you could actually emboss this and then sand it, and that whiteness would show up in it. All kinds of possibilities, crinkling it. It is not as heavy as cardstock, but heavier than a sheet of printer paper, if that makes sense. So that is what our two-tone cardstock looks like. You can get them in all of our Stampin' Up colors now in 12 by 12 packages. So if you're interested in two-tone cardstock, that is on sale this week. Okay, I'm going to go back to me. Next is we have a craft along coming up at the end of July. It is a double class. We're using the Tractor and Company bundle that was just released in the online exclusives, and the Jolly Holly bundle as well. You get $50 worth of product and everything you need to create the kits. We send you a kit in the mail, and then you can craft along with us on July 28th, 29th, 30th, and 31st. Okay, we're going to show 2 cards a day on each of those days. So if you would like to get your kit ahead of time, it also includes a PDF of all the instructions for both of the bundles. So if you guys would like to join me in crafting along, I will put the link to that up in the description as well. And this is the bundle we're using this week. It's called Painterly Pears. It's one of the new online exclusives. So hopefully I have inspired you this week to grab that suite and get this class to go. That is my desire, to inspire you to make beautiful cards and things. A whole bunch of online exclusives dropped last week. You can get them in my online store, which is right up here, TuddleUpShop.com. And I just want to highlight for you two great kits. This one is called Birthday Fancy Kit. It makes, I believe it makes 9 cards, but it might be 12, and you can create them however you want. They give you pictures to inspire you, but you can mix and match and do it however you want to do. And the other kit that I know is just gonna blow out is the Sweet and Spooky kit. It is a non-stamping kit. You can make 15 little treat bags for your Halloweeners. So if you're thinking about that, that is a great kit to get as well. Okay, all right, so I'm going to move back down to my hands here and get our last project done for this week's online class to go. I want to show you what we've made so far. And like Laura did, when you jump in, come in, say hi, let me know you're here. So these are the cards that we made this week. A good friend is a gift. So pretty. These pairs were actually cut out of the DSP. You get the Secret Sea, Old Olive, Darling Duckling, and Petal Pink in this one. So pretty. And that is the inside. And then card number 2 is this one that has the screen. I call it a screen panel. I don't know what else you call it. Hello, friend. And just some beautiful papers inside on that one as well. The third card was this really stepped up one. We used the party banners on this, lots of the die cuts, lots of inking in different ways. Gorgeous card, right? And that is the inside of that one. And then our fun fold yesterday was this one using the arches. The arch sits above the fold on this one, which is fun. Allows you to set it up on a desk or a shelf. Congratulations, and some pretty flowers, although you could use any of our sentiments that are in this set, or any other set for that matter, as your sentiment there. So pretty. This bundle also includes this beautiful gold and mossy meadow ribbon, so pretty, and our low profile shimmer gems. Low profile because they're not very high, I guess is what they're kind of a little flatter, not super flat, but flatter. So you get those in that Secret Sea and Old Olive and the Darling Duckling. So pretty. These really shimmer way more in person than they do on camera. So just so you know that. All right, so those are the projects that we've done as part of this online class to go. Today's is the very last project. Hi, Belinda. Thanks for joining me here today. Thanks for making it. So I got on Amazon and I bought a whole bunch of these notebooks. They come in lots of different colors, but we're going to cover the front. And it's a little I like having little notebooks like this sitting next to my nightstand or on my kitchen counter, just to give me reminders of things that need to be done, to make lists. Easy to throw in my purse, right? To take to the grocery store, to a meeting or whatever. Just a nice little size. So we are making that notebook. We're covering it and making it into a little book here that you can give to a friend or keep for yourself for that matter, right? We don't have to give everything away, but it is fun to give things away. And so I'm going to show you how we covered this and how we made this cute little notebook. Okay. Hi, Roz. Thanks for joining me here today. You know, I realized after my Facebook Live was over yesterday that it was kind of a downer Facebook Live. I have a lot of friends going through some hard times. And part of me was like, oh, that was kind of a downer. But then the other part of me is that's what we're here for, right? A community that loves and supports and loves on each other, right? And that's the kind of community I want to be. So I decided I don't need to apologize for that. It's all okay. Okay, so I have 2 pieces of cardstock here. It is cut 3.5, and this is Mossy Meadow. 3.5, and here's the clicker, by 9 9/16. Okay, so I want to show you where that is on, just dropped something, but it's okay. Okay, on the paper trimmer. So here's my paper trimmer, okay? Maybe I'm going to zoom in just a little. Some people have a hard time with measurements, you guys. Really do. Okay, so here we go. Here's my 5-inch mark. So 9/16 is one tiny little tick mark past 5.5, past the half mark, okay? So 8/16 would be 1/2. 9/16 is going to be the very next tiny little tick mark there. 16ths, okay? And so that's how I cut this paper. 5 9/16 by 3.5. And we just needed a little bit more space on our notebook there, okay? So I've cut 2 of those, and then I've embossed them with our exposed brick 3D embossing folder, okay? So they're both embossed. Now, for covering this notepad, I decided to use Seal Plus, and I'm going to get all the way to the edges. And the reason I'm choosing Seal Plus is it's easy to roll that tape over the edge if it goes off. And actually on these corners here, we're going to end up kind of trimming it around these corners anyway. Okay, so the nice thing about our Seal Plus is, can you see how it rolls in these tiny little strips of tape, and then you can actually kind of roll it over the edge if you need to. Okay, so I'm going to take my panel that I have embossed, and I'm going to set it right here on top of this notebook and press it down. I want to get a really good adhering on the front and around the edge because I don't want this popping off in any way, right? Okay, so I hear you, Roz. I need people in my life as well. I don't know if you guys heard me yesterday or night, but my husband's having some minor heart surgery tomorrow. I don't want to downplay your husband's cancer because we all deal with lots of things, right? And I'm glad we can be a support to you and maybe even a distraction, right? From what is going on in the real world, floods and wars and all kinds of stuff. So I'm glad we can be here for one another. Okay, so I'm covering that up right there. Okay, so I'm going to press that down. Don't want to press it so hard that it takes the embossing out of it. So anyway, Jim's surgery tomorrow. He's been struggling with some AFib issues, and he's going to have an ablation done. Very minor, but concerning still. Anytime someone goes, has any kind of surgery, right? So you can pray for my husband, Jim, as we pray for each other with everything else that's going on, okay? All right, so do you see how this notebook has these curved edges? I'm just going to snip those off with my paper snips. And sad news, you guys, we found out yesterday that the paper snips are going away. The company that manufactures them is no longer going to make them for us, okay? So I'm just trimming around the edges there. I want to trim this little bit off the top here. You know our rule, better to be a little bit big than too little. So sometimes when you emboss, it kind of shrinks the paper a little bit. So that's why we have a little smidgen here, because we purposely cut it a tiny bit too big. There we go. So there's the front. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this back side here. I'm just going to trim around these edges. So we get a really close to the edge trim on it, and then let me trim. So we don't have paper snips anymore. They sold out pretty quick after that announcement was made, like within minutes. But they're looking for a new manufacturer, so we hope that happens pretty soon. Okay, so there we go. There's my front and the back of my notebook. Thank you, Roz. I appreciate that. I've heard a lot of good success stories as well, so that is good. Okay, so then we have this binding that we're going to use as our book binding, and this cut 1 1/4 by 5 9/16. Okay, so I'm going to just set this on here. I'm going to add some tear and tape to this edge right here. I'm going to get it really close to the edge again. Okay, and I'm going to lay this on here. And honestly, I didn't worry too much if it was exactly the same on the front as it was on the back as far as distance in. I think I can do a pretty good job of kind of eyeballing it here. That was almost spot on perfect there. Okay, so you don't want to score it because it's going to roll around. There's some thickness here. Sorry, I just realized I was off camera. There's some thickness here, so I didn't want to score it. I just want to roll it over right like that. Okay, so let me zoom out again here. Here we go. I'm going to hit this with that Seal Plus again, get really close to that edge and roll it over if I need to, but it doesn't really look like I need to. I did pretty good. So I'm going to roll that over right there. Okay, now top is, well, I guess that's the bottom. The bottom is perfect. The top has just a little bit of an edge on it that I'm going to trim away. Okay, there we go. Now, we have a piece of DSP here that's cut 2 inches by 3 inches. And maybe should have put that on first. Let's see here. The last time I was able to just slide it under here. There we go. I really probably should have put it on first, but I think I'm going to be able to slide it under pretty well. And see, it doesn't need to go under very much, right? Like that. So I'm taking, it's a 2 by 3 inch piece of DSP, and I'm just going to adhere it right onto the front of my notebook here. Have you guys ever covered a notebook before? I think it's kind of a fun idea. It's not something I've done very often. I feel like I had a retreat once where we covered a notebook, which was fun. Okay, here we go. Here we go. All right. Pretty cute, right? Okay, so now I have cut out of a hexagon punch here in petal pink, a petal pink hexagon punch, okay? And on this, I'm going to add a little bit of liquid glue to the back side, and I cut this hashtag piece. It's one of the dies that are in the pear set, okay? So the pear dies, I'm going to add some liquid glue, maybe, if my life is gonna go as planned today. Let me try this. Let me poke in here one more time. Okay, there's no reason why that should not be coming out. There we go. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. And I'm going to set this on this bottom edge, kind of right like that, okay? Then we've cut some of these Calypso Coral. Let me get out my dies here so you can kind of see. So there's one of these dies that is just a length of these little hearts right here, right? So cute. So I'm going to add one of these Calypso Coral hearts just right up here. Cuts 5. We're only using 1. Right like that. Perfect. Okay. Then I have a label that I'm going to stamp with the word friend in Mossy Meadow. And then I'm going to work on my pears, and we are pretty close to being done. So I've got my word friend here and my Mossy Meadow ink, and I'm going to stamp towards this end the word friend, right like that. Hi, Imelda. Hey, Imelda. I saw that you signed up for coneflower class in person. Thank you. Pass on to Vivian that I only have 1 spot left. I don't know if she wants to come with you and Chastine or not, but I just wanted to let you know I only have 1 in-person spot left. It has really filled up fast. So, all right. So, here we go. Imelda is one of my friends here in Midland who, when she saw these pear cards, was like, I need everything for that because I'm going to make those. So, and she wanted to help with the fundraiser as well. Okay, so blah, blah, blah. Okay, so here we go. Last thing I need to do is stamp my pears. So I'm starting with a Mossy Meadow. No, I'm starting with an Old Olive here. Hi, Jeanne. Thanks for joining me today. I appreciate you guys being here today with me. This is a fun covering notebook project here. Okay, so I stamped that in Old Olive, and I'm going to grab my blends in Old Olive and Crumb Cake. I'm going to use my dark Crumb Cake only, and I'm just going to color in my stems here with that. There we go. And then I've got my light and dark Old Olive that I'm just gonna lightly add light and dark Old Olive to these. Now, they used to tell us not to use blends with regular ink pads, but I'm finding, as are other people, that it works really well, actually, when you don't want a black edge, right? Like on these pears, I didn't really want a black edge. So, okay, so there's my light. I'm going to add a little bit of dark here to the centers where the seam, what do I want to say, leaf vein is. And then I'm going to go back over it with a little bit of regular again. There we go. Just kind of blend it all in. No harsh lines here. Okay, there we go. Now, for the inside, I'm going to do very similar to what I've done all week. I'm going to ink up the inside. Thank you. And I'll give you guys the link of these little notebooks on Amazon. So I'm inking up the inside of my pears with Darling Duckling. I'm going to grab my Calypso Coral and add a little right to the edges right here. And I tried adding a little petal pink to the centers, but it didn't work very well. I couldn't really see it, and so I've decided to forgo that this time. And I'm going to get my head in the camera here. I hope I'm not covering up what I'm doing. And I'm going to stamp those pears right. That's so pretty, right? Don't you love it? All right, so I'm going to grab my die, and I'm going to die cut these out. Right like that. Off camera here. I'm going to roll this through really quick and back. So, My son will be coming into town on Friday. He wants to be here just to kind of sit around with Jim as he's recovering this week over the weekend. Lucy's birthday is on Saturday. Well, it's actually on Monday, but we're celebrating on Saturday with a party. And I'm in charge of the birthday cake. So she's having a karaoke birthday party. And she has a list of her favorite songs that her friends can sing with her via karaoke. I think it's a really cute idea. And I found, actually, shockingly enough, a really cute karaoke inspired cake topper. So that's super fun. Okay, so friend is going to go right here, kind of off the edge. But I want to tuck it underneath there so just that circle edge shows at the end. So, isn't it pretty? I know, I love it. I love it, Roz. I think that's lucky we have sponge daubers, right? That help us make just very beautiful looking sponged images. Watercolor-esque, right? Okay, so there we go. I want to make sure the whole word friend peeks out from under there. Okay, I'm going to add some gems to this. Pull those out from over here. And I'm doing these Darling Duckling gems today. Okay. I think I'll put a big one right here and maybe a little one right up here. 3's the magic number, right? Okay, only one more thing left to do, and that is to grab my ribbon. And I am going to make sure I didn't miss anybody coming on here. Okay, so I'm taking about, let's see, how many inches here? About 8 inches, folding it in half, and then crisscross applesaucing it, and it's just going to lay right across the front of my notebook right here. Okay, you know what, it'd be really cute to make a bookmark out of this as well, wouldn't it? I just had that inspiration. Maybe give them a notebook and a bookmark. Be a cute little gift, as well as maybe, a gift card to Barnes & Noble or something. That would be fun. I don't know. Is Barnes & Noble still around? We don't have one in Midland. Maybe we do. I don't know. Maybe some of my Midland people can tell me. I haven't lived here long enough, but I haven't been to Barnes & Noble in Midland. I will say that. All right, so I'm going to add some dimensionals here to the back side of this and pop it up on the front of my notebook. And we will have all 5 projects done that are a part of this online class to go this week. Get it in the mail to make your own with any order of $50 or more. There we go, in my online store. And as you know, I'm donating all my commissions this week to flood victims here in Texas. So if you would like to help me be a part of that, I would love to have your order. Okay, so here we go. I want to show you all our projects again. Today's was this notebook right here. Yesterday's was our fun fold with the arches. And then on Monday, we did these 3 cards. So if you would like a kit to get this in the mail, including the notebook, Imelda says we do have a Barnes & Noble. Good. You'll have to at some point tell me where that is, Imelda. So this is the class to go. I hope you guys love it. I love these cards. I hope I inspired you with the Painterly Pears, sweet, and I really have fallen in love with these cards. So please pray about helping me with my flood fundraiser this week. all of my commissions, I make a 25% commission. So all of my commissions are going to go to help the flood victims. So God bless. And hopefully I will be, what is the notebook called? It's called a notebook. You know what, Roz? If you'll come back, I'll put a link to them up in my description after this video's over, okay? I call it a covered notebook. I don't know if that's what you mean or not, but they're pretty cute, right? I love it. I love that it just can slip into a purse and you can write some notes down or make your Christmas lists or whatever. So thank you for joining me today, and I'll put all the links in the description so you will have them there, okay? Bye-bye.